Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is your very own educator, Sukriti Joshi, ma'am, your very own educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, friend, philosopher, facilitator, guru, one and all. And this is the one-stop destination wherein we all are gonna learn together and grow together and connect together. And therefore, thus forming a beautiful, beautiful bond together and blossoming together, right? So I need your support, guys. Do like the video, do like the video, do share the video, and if you have any queries or if you have any questions, you can ask me whenever I'm free. I'll respond to you guys. So you can ask me if you have any doubts, if you have any queries, if you have any questions. um right? So do ask me that. So I'll be more than happy to help you out. And even if you feel like asking me about career choices, I'll try and figure it out for you guys. I'll do my research and I'll definitely try my level best to guide you people. And for board exams, I can guide you because I have been an AHE, that is assistant head examiner, in coordination part. So do let me know if you need any sort of guidance, right? All right, so with that, having said that, let's get started. Why should we waste our time? So let's dive deep into the recesses and let's start learning with fun, right? So yeah. All right, so we have the interview, right? Now, let me wait. Yeah. So we have the interview, which is written by Christopher Sylvester, right? A profound writer, Christopher Sylvester, right? And this is from your class 12 syllabus, right? CBSE board English core. So you have actually so you do have two boards, like there's an elective one and then there's a core one, so do not get confused. This is the videos that I'm making is for that I'm targeting my audiences right now, the core ones. The elective ones can also reach out to me and let me know what is their syllabus, and accordingly I'll prepare my videos for you guys here. And for other boards as well, for Maharashtrian board, for Gujarat board, other boards as well, right? For now I'm focusing on class 12 CBSE board, right? This is from your English Flamingo book, right? So you have two books. Remember the names of those two books. Remember the chapters or poems that belong to the particular book, right? So this chapter, the interview, has been taken from Flamingo, right? Your book Flamingo. Now, we should whenever we talk about any lesson, right? Herein we are talking about the interview by Christopher, right? By Christopher Sylvester, right? Always remember the name of the author. Always remember the name of the writer. Always, if it is a poem, remember the name of the poet. Do not write writer, or do not write author, do not write playwright. If it is a play, then only write playwright. If it is a lesson, then write author. If it is a poem, then write poet, right? Now, always, 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 whenever we talk about any lesson, any play, any any poem, you are supposed to know about who has written it, right? It could be a playwright, it could be an author, it could be a writer, it could be a poet, it could be anyone, but you should be knowing about it, right? Who is the one who is behind the scene, right? Who has written it, right? So about the author, because it will tell you a lot about his or her work as well on the same, like where where what are what were his views, where does he stand, what stances did he take, right? So what opinions, what perceptions he had. So all of this would be seen in his or her work. I'm just talking in general right now. Let's get started with the lesson. Now, Christopher Sylvester, when we talk about Christopher Sylvester, uh, the profession was that of the we get to see that how he was a writer. So obviously, because he used to write, so he has written a fabulous work, that is the interview in your, which is included, which is a part of your curriculum, which is a part of your Flamingo book. So he was a journalist. He was a British journalist. Again, keep that in mind. I have in one of my videos, I've spoken about British, right? So again, I'm talking about British writer. So keep in mind who are the British writers so that you get a clarity. So British, just go and check that video out, right? So he was a British journalist and writer, right? Clear? You can keep that in mind when we are talking about mass media, mass communication, or writing. It's part and parcel, right? Right? So he was both. He was even an editor and a contributor to the Penguin Book of the Interviews, right? So Penguin Book, you must have heard, Priyanka Chopra and everyone, they have written they have published their poems or stories, I don't know what, in the Penguin, the Penguin Book edition, right? So and all the celebs out there. So here again we talk about that how he was the editor. He even did the editing part, as well as he was the contributor to the Penguin Book of the interviews, right? And he specialized in essays too. So he was, we can say that, like we can say when we talk about Christopher Sylvester, was uh, a specialist, a multifaceted personality who had myriad hues. He was brilliant at writing essays. He was brilliant at journalism. He was brilliant at editing. He was brilliant as a contributor to the Penguin Book publication, right? And media studies. So, and edit and writer too. He was an author too. So, Christopher was an author too, right? So, yep. Uh, Give me a second. So we get to see that how he was, a multifaceted, multi-talented personality, and he did his best when he used to write, as well as in essays in journalism and in media studies, right? Now we move on to where is in this movie? Yeah. So now we get to the main question that is the central, pivotal point, that is a major thing to discuss, that is what is an interview. So always keep in mind and always discuss and always try to analyze first and foremost when you see the title, right? So for example, you have the first chapter named title as The Last Lesson, right? You have Aunt Jennifer's Tigers as, so try to analyze why the first chapter has been titled as The Last Lesson. What could it mean? Try to analyze what could it mean, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. Was Aunt having any tigers? Then you will come to know. Slowly and slowly, gradually, when the teacher starts explaining you, when you start studying, right? That what you were thinking was different or was similar to what the writer wanted to convey or portray, right? For example, in Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, it was completely different, right? What you think is completely different, and what happens in the poem, the tapestry and the tigers that she had woven, that she had embroidered on uh, that tapestry was, in was a kind of a reaction, was a kind of an action that she wanted actually to mirror it out. So she wanted those traits. She wanted to be courageous. She wanted to be bold. She wanted to be, free from any fear or anxiety. But she couldn't, but because of the heavy, weight of the wedding band. Otherwise, wedding band is very light. The ring is very light. Wedding ring is not so heavy, but she was burdened with the heavy weight of the wedding band, right? Now, again, wedding band had several connotations attached to it. It could be, how master slave relationship exists in the poem, or how they're in a circus, how the master is training, is taming the animal. So it's basically that. But tigers aren't afraid of anyone, right? They are not afraid of any men. So men, in fact, are taking shelter. So men are only afraid of tigers, and otherwise they aren't afraid of anyone. But tigers are the ones they are afraid of, right? So, all right, so yeah, so that was it. So here also you need to analyze the title. Coming back to the lesson, here also you need to analyze the title. What is an interview? Now, why has it been, why the writer has chosen the title, why Christopher has chosen the title, The Interview? Now, what is an interview? It is when we say interview, right, that after you are done with your bachelor's or your master's. For example, I have done my bachelor's, I've done my master's, I've done my BA. Then you obviously, at each and every moment, you are, giving you're appearing for, or even for your internship, or even before taking any job, you have to basically, you are um, appearing for exams, written tests, you're appearing for interviews, you are subjected to all that pressure, building interviews, and wherein you are pressurized, you know, to check how can you manage and how can you function well under the pressure. So, and how celebrities are subjected to interviews, and whether they like it or they don't like it. So a conversation where questions are asked to gather information. So basically, interview is a kind of a, you know is a is is a kind of a process wherein people are, generally there can be an individual, or there can be a group of individuals who are questioning you regarding something, some certain subject, right, in order to you know fetch information from you. So that is what an interview is all about. Become a common journalistic practice in the 19th century. So interview actually became a very, very popular, interviewing celebrities, interviewing people who were famous, who were popular. It became very, very common to interview them, right, in the 19th century. Seen even now in the 21st century, we get to see, like, we do have Pink Villa, we do have paparazzi, we have I don't know what all stuff do we have. Um, what's in your bag? What's in your purse? I don't know. These segments are there. What's how your house is like? I don't know. They just go and they just check out the or Almira is like, I don't know. They just try to peep into other people's lives. So in today's era, it is very, very famous, right? Um, it is kind of considered a trend and a fashion to, show off. So yeah, but do they like it? That's the question. Every time, if you keep on peeping into other person's life, personal life, will they like it? That's the question, right? Here, the question mark lies. So it is seen as a source of truth and authenticity. Now, when you are interviewing a person, it is seen as a source of truth and authenticity. So when you interview any person, right? If, for example, I have been a PGD, right? So I have worked in about 5 schools as a PGD. I started my career as a PGD, and I have been the AHE too. So if anybody would question me, right? For example, if I'm joining some institution, or if I'm joining some school again, right? I have been working in renowned schools, so they will try to drill me more because of my CV, because of my qualifications, because they will think that I can be a threat. I can demand more, like I can demand more salary, more wages, uh, more salary, right? So they don't want to give more salaries, right? So that is the question. So an employer is from an employer's um, side. If you see, they want the work to be done. Uh, they want the work to be done. Yeah. So every time it doesn't. Nobody likes, to be honest. But sometimes nowadays, what is happening is that celebs are calling, I guess celebs are calling themselves, but then that's for popularity again, to gain money. But what I'm talking about is that no employer would like one, from their lens. If you see, they don't want to pay salaries. Uh, they can employ, wherein they can employ 3 4 teachers. Why would they like to give a salary package, good salary package to one teacher who is in fact capable? They will try to demean, or they will try to um uh, even if I'm young, they try to demotivate you, try to uh, even though they might also not be knowing about the answers of those questions. Nobody can know anything, like nobody can know everything. Everybody knows that, everybody is aware about that, right? But still, that happens. So it when they ask you certain question, if you know, that is good. If you don't know, that you also come to know, and the other person also comes to know. So it is seen as a source of truth, although it might be or it might not be, but according to this lesson, it is, right? Truth and authenticity. um right. So if you ask any celeb about any particular dish, or about any particular brand that they uh, would suggest, it might be because of the popularity of a certain brand, or might be that brand might be endorsing them, or might be that in order to be amidst the crowd, uh, so that people like them, they pretend to be something else. So although false things can also be, when we talk about interview, can be spoken in an interview. So it's not only about that it is, but it in this lesson it is considered as a source of truth only, and authenticity, that it would be real, it would be uh, crystal clear, real, and truth will only be there, right? So for justice interview, right? All right. So then we have, why isn't this moving? Why am I facing problem? Yeah. Yeah. Then we have summary part one. So we have essay traces history of interviews in journalism. So the essays also, they used to trace history, like there's a timeline, right? So of interviews in journalism, that how, and like, for example, nowadays we have research work which is being done. So similarly, tracing timeline in history, you get to see a lot. Timelines are there in English also, timelines are there. Uh, right, so mixed opinions are there. Some see them as truth revealing, other as intrusive. So there are mixed opinions. You cannot say that no, interview is the only process or source from which truth can be derived, justice can be derived. Right, you can't say that. So some people were of that belief that from this is the only process and source from which truth can be, it will reveal the truth, and from which truth and justice can be uh, given, and uh, it will only be it will be giving us honest reviews. Others used to believe that it was intrusive, that it was spoiling their personal life, right? Then highlights importance of interviews in modern life. So it is even highlighting in the importance of interviews, how important it is in modern life, right? Then we have summary part two, famous opinions. So we have several, people who had writers also. So we have writers, actors, different. Obviously, as I have spoken before, that we are gonna be talking, or we are going to talk about different personalities, renowned personalities, recognized personalities, multi-talented, multifaceted personalities, popular personalities, famous personalities. It could be a writer, it could be an editor, it could be philosopher, it could be uh, an actor, it could be a writer, right? Or it could be an educator too, right? So H.G. Wells, according to H.G. Wells, it was an unpleasant but revealing. Again, doesn't that sound? Um, okay, yeah. So H.G. Wells, according to him, it was unpleasant. That interview, that how interview process was kind of unpleasant, and it didn't give that positive vibe that we talk about, right? And it was kind of too much revealing, too much intrusion was there, and a lot of things, a lot of portion and a lot of part of your self had to be revealed. So, according to Lewis Carroll, he disliked interviews. He completely disliked interviews, right? According to Rudyard Kipling, he compared interviews to immoral practices. Can you believe it? Coming it from Rudyard Kipling, very, very famous, and Lewis Carroll, even H.G. Wells, you know, they consider interviews like coming from Rudyard Kipling, that it was compared to immoral practice. Like, can you literature students will be able to, if you study literature, if you do your bachelor's in English and your master's in English and then BA, you will be able to, identify, and you will be able to relate with me that how, in Christianity, there's this concept of Catholicism and Protestantism, and then several subcategories were there. It will um like most of the people say that in India we had the concept of, Brahmins and Kshatriyas and Shudras and uh, Vaishyas. Um, Actually, this wasn't the concept that was there originally in India. It was the concept developed by Portuguese, first and foremost. And secondly, um, these hierarchies have always been there in other religions too. So, but I don't know why Hinduism has been targeted, but yeah, Rudyard Kipling compared in interviews to immoral practices. So it reminds me that how how theaters were thought to be thought to be immoral. So how those people, how in Christianity people thought that uh, theaters were sort of immoral, and they were giving instilling immoral thoughts and uh, in the masses. And even in Christianity, females weren't allowed to like enact or act, so they had to take the role, or they had to actually cut their hair, or hide their real identity and turn out to be like a boy or a man in order to enact, those who had interest, escaping or hiding from everyone. So it was to that extent. Whereas in India, if we look into um, uh, the things, girls were the ones who were the warriors, not warriors. Girls were women. Women were the one. Girls, women were the one who were having the swords, who used swords, who used uh, you know dance, who used singing, who used all these instruments, sewing and everything, um, who were very free and liberated, but were shown in a different manner altogether. Let's just forget that. So, despite criticism, interviews became indispensable for journalists. So, although there was a lot of criticism, but interviews became an indispensable part for journalists. Even now, it's like if you just uh, switch on the television, they're just interviewing people, right? So before, let's take an example. um there was this blood moon, right? um um, what do you call it in Hindi? um, चंद सूर्य ग्रह या चंद्र ग्रह था, तो आई डोंट नो, ब्लड मून से मैं भूल गई हूँ हिंदी का टर्मिनोलॉजी जो भी है. So there was blood moon, and they were taking information, or they were trying to take information in a short passage of time, in a small period, um, from 50 astrologers ki 5 minutes ka, uh, what will you say, 5 minutes time, even 5 minutes were not given, so they had to sum it up in 2 minutes. So that was the case, right? So then we get to the point wherein we talk about importance of interviews. Now, it is a powerful means of communication. So if you want to communicate if you want to have a powerful communication, and you want to extract information to, and you want to get to know about the other person and the person's habits, then interview is the best option. Primary source of information about celebrities and events. I've talked, I've spoken about it. I've talked about it. So yeah, it is a primary. That means it is a major source of information for like about celebrities. If you want to know about celebrities, just interview them, right? Nowadays everybody is a vlogger and blogger and whatnot. I don't know even know the difference, but yes, everybody is with their mics and asking, going in front of the celebs houses or villas, not even houses, villas, and showing that this, I'm standing in front of Shah Rukh Khan, ya Salman Khan, ya Kartik Aaryan, I don't know what all, but they are doing it. So yeah, uh that is also like uh getting inside someone's personal life, or personal, they can't be themselves. right? So help reveal personality, thinking, values of individuals. So it helps, in order to reveal the personality of the individual, how they live, how they behave, how they conduct themselves, what are their thoughts like. If you continuously, through keep on throwing questions, they will at the end give up. Even if they are pretending or acting, they will not be able to take it uh more than a more than half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. That would be the um, you know that would be the time limit that they can stick to. Otherwise they cannot act for the entire day, right? And values of individuals. Then we have themes. So truth versus privacy, truth versus privacy, celebrity culture and public curiosity. So every public is so curious about what celebs are doing, how celebs are living, what celebs are eating. Whatever celebs will eat, public will eat. Whatever celebrities will uh, wear, they will wear. Whatever celebrities will um whatever perfumes or deos they will use those perfumes, deos. Whatever celebrities will endorse, basically they will, people, masses, public will get curious about it and then ultimately start doing that same thing. Power of media in shaping perceptions. Now, power of media. So, media also plays a pivotal role in shaping perceptions about any individual. It could be um, about the writer, how the writer is writing. For example, how do we know that um, uh, William? How do we know about uh, William Wordsworth? How do we know about they haven't been interviewed, but how do we know about um Carol? How do we know about um Shah Khan? How do we know about writer? I've done writer Louis Carroll. How do we know about one famous personality from Bollywood? And who else? Yeah. How do we know about me? Right? Educator. So, three are done. So, power of media and shaping perceptions. Then we have conflicting views on personal boundaries. Conflicting views will always be there on personal boundaries, right? Then we have key points. Interview as a journalistic tool. So interview is it's a kind of an instrument for journalists. So as a journalist too, different perspectives, admiration versus criticism. So some people, some writers, some novelists, some poets, some people, some dancers, some singers, some uh, players, sports per people, some yeah, even Virat Kohli is there. Some film and some celebrities admire the process of interviews. Some reject, some criticize, right? So central role in modern India, in modern media and literature, right? Central role in modern media and literature. At the end, finally, we have come to the end and we are now gonna conclude. Thank God it was a very, very, very big lecture. I think I spoke a lot. So interviews are unavoidable in modern journalism. Now interviews are just like unavoidable. Even I remember the fact that how I think one of the celebs had said that I just dislike interviews and therefore he has, I will not take the name, but he never uh he is never ever available for interviews. They reveal hidden truths yet raise ethical concerns. Even Varun Dhawan, I think he also doesn't like it. But we like it because I like him. So they reveal hidden truths yet raise ethical concerns. So they sort of reveal hidden truths yet raise ethical concerns. Christopher Sylvester provides us, the audience, the readers, a balanced perspective, a balanced perspective, right? Clear? Now, these are the questions for discussion. So, all of you, I want all my audience, I want all my masses, I want all my viewers out there, for an educator, for a teacher, for a guru, you can at least do this much. Comment in the comment section below, in the description box, or whatever you call chat box. I am new to it. So in that, please comment the answers, and do not copy from anywhere. Um just try to be your unique self, your original self, and whatever comes to your mind, write it down, right? All right, with this power and enthusiasm, we'll end our session, right? And with this, we come to the end of the session. I hope you liked it. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Do share the link with your friends, family members, with with everyone, right? So that everyone can get benefit out of it, right? Especially with your friends, because obviously if you are in 12th or 11th, they would also get benefit out of it. So do share it with your siblings, with your friends, with your cousins, with your family members, with everyone, right? And with this, I would love to end my session. Till then, let's all keep learning, let's all keep growing. Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna, Radhe Radhe.